Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. Today we're going to talk about some shorter books that you could read for Nonfiction November if you want to just kind of pick up something that's quick and easy, or if you want to get your reading goal completed for the year. So I did one of these about books that are fictional. And so today I'm doing one about some nonfiction books that you could definitely read in one day, and in some cases in 1 hour. So let's look at what I have on the stack. So the first one is Profiles in Courage by President John F. Kennedy. I've had this for a bit, but it came from a little free library. It's not in great shape. It's very yellowed. This was originally published like in 1956, but I've wanted to reread this because I did read it in high school, I think. I'm pretty sure it was in high school because I had a course in comparative political systems. So we read about different political leaders who were experiencing some challenging times, and some challenging things happened as a result of their leadership. And of course, John F. Kennedy had some challenges both while he was president, and then of course he was assassinated. So I'd like to read this again, and it's super short. I feel like I finished it pretty quickly the first time, and it has a pretty extensive bibliography in the back. So it is 211 pages, and this was a book that he read that he felt like was important for the American people to understand what's at stake for statesmen in our historical times and what decisions they have to make and alliances that they have to form in order to be able to be the best leader that they can be. And sometimes those alliances are difficult. I could read or reread 84 Chaining Crossroad by Helene Hanff. You know, this is one of my favorites. I also could buy or get a copy of Q's Legacy because I still haven't read that. I thought I bought it one day, but I think I ended up putting it back. Anyway, this one is epistolary. It is letters written back and forth to a man who works at a bookstore on 84 Charing Cross Road. And his name is, well, there's actually several people she writes to, but it's at the Marks and Company booksellers. They continue to write letters back and forth to each other. And the reason she started writing was because she wanted some books that she couldn't get because they were not available in the United States. So this correspondence relationship began in October of 1949. So this is historical nonfiction, but it is absolutely just delightful. And you could read this in an hour. I mean, less than an hour, probably. It's very, very short. I mean, you can see. This one I happened to look at the other day because I had not read this, and I purchased it from my friend who had a bookstore in the place that we lived before we moved here in South Mississippi. This is called If the Buddha Married: Creating Enduring Relationships on a Spiritual Path by Charlotte Castle. I think it's Castle, who is doctor and authored the book If the Buddha Dated. So I remember just being intrigued by this. And I also remember it was recommended by the bookseller that owned the bookstore at that time, but also Marianne Williamson, who I used to read a good bit of years and years ago. But this woman, Charlotte Castle, is an author, a therapist, and a spiritual practitioner, and she brings Buddha's wisdom to the complex world of relationships. So it is about how to strengthen, create, deepen, or revitalize a relationship with depth, wisdom, and humor on important matters of the heart, empowering us to create fulfilling and vibrant relationships through a commitment to awareness, truth, and compassion, using a beginner's mind. If you've not ever read anything about that sort of faith-based and mindset-based work, it is certainly incredible and very helpful to a lot of people. This might not be for you. If this is not your thing, then I totally understand. But I've had it for a while and I never ever read it. So it's really just about being at peace and being aware and mindful and all those things. Then I have, which has a bookmark in it, but that does not mean it's because I read it. Here's my bookmark. Somebody made that for me, I know. If it was you, let me know. I've had this for a while though. Anyway, this one also came from the bookstore that my friend owned, and this is Listening Below the Noise by Annie LeClaire. And there are photographs in this book as well, which is quite something. So this is about LeClaire's exploration into an inner voyage that transformed her life. She's practiced total silence for 2 days a month, detaching herself from her hectic lifestyle and learning to listen to her deepest self and finding a center from which to live. So she's discovered her own secret garden, a private place where true personal growth is possible. Part memoir, part philosophical inquiry written with clarity and warm humor. How silence can help us expand our awareness, ignite and nurture creativity, and achieve inner peace. We sure could all use some inner peace these days, right? But this one just seems like a nice, like, dive into some extreme self-care. This one might be more than a day because it's a little bit longer, but it's also, it's kind of small print. So this one might take you a little bit longer than a day, but it's really kind of, the margins are large, and I don't know. I think some of you could definitely do it. There's one of you, I'm looking at you, Lisa Smoot, that could definitely read this book in one day. Not that she might want to, but she reads really, really fast. Okay. Sorry to call you out, but I'm enamored with and envious of your ability to read so much in one day. All right. And then the last one is just a funny one. How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you, which I think I got from my daughter for the Advent Book Exchange. But all right, so this is definitely a graphic comic book style novel. It has all kinds of great things. Bringing you dead animals, this isn't a gift, it's a warning, is one of my favorites. And I guess that's why it opens up to that. But I definitely enjoyed this. This is Homeless Man versus Your Cat. So if you need something to make you laugh, this is it. It is obviously humorous and not realistic, but this is Cats Love Infants. They're too weak and helpless to escape a proper mauling. I know it's dark, and yet it's humorous. And sometimes cats are really kind of creepy, right? Like sometimes Sheldon loves me and I love him, but every now and again he gives me a look like, I don't know, I might not want that look in my purview anymore. So it's a New York Times bestseller. Okay, those are my short books for you. You can definitely read that one in a short period of time too. Hopefully you found something from this stack, one thing maybe that would interest you, and let me know if you did, what that is, and let me know in the comments below if you have any sort of really short books that you recommend for Nonfiction November that people could read in a day or in a sitting. I would love to hear what those are, because I'm always looking, not necessarily because I've met my reading goal, but I'm always looking for books that kind of are like a quick in between, something that's bigger and maybe more heavy. I would love to hear what those recommendations are. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, for all your support and all the ways that you offer it. And as always, happy reading. Bye.